Hey there lads and ladies of the internet, got aloe vera? Want to learn how exactly to keep these pokey, leafy, gorgeous green goddesses happy, healthy, and fit as fucking fiddles? Well then, you better stick the fuck around, because today, we fit to get into all that shit. Hey there, I'm Smith Kingston, houseplant guru extraordinaire. Joining us today we have GabMonster, Logan Bootler, and the strikingly attractive Lady Space Cowgirl. Alrighty, these pokey perennial pals here are known commonly as aloe vera or medicinal aloe, and known scientifically as Aloe barbadensis Miller. There are a lot of different species of aloes out there, but to recognize the medicinal kind, you've got to look very closely at the leaf. The leaves of Aloe barbadensis Miller are long, thick, fleshy, wider at the bottom, and pointed towards the tip. They are usually pea green in color, though this can vary depending on factors such as age and sun exposure. And their edges are lined with little pokey spikes that fade to a yellowish white towards the tips. Like many other types of succulents, aloe leaves are coated with a waxy dust called farina, or epicuticular wax, that some say acts as a kind of a sunscreen. Younger aloe plants are speckled with lots of little white dots, or I guess reverse freckles, but as these dusty green damsels age, they produce fewer and fewer spots. Aloe barbadensis Miller is native to the southeast Arabian Peninsula, but can be and pretty much is grown worldwide anywhere with arid, tropical, or semi-tropical climates. And hey, if you live somewhere with a climate that's a little bit different, listen, Donna, don't fucking worry about it. You can still keep one of these dusty green damsels, maybe just not, outdoors directly in the ground. Because if you understand the fundamental aloe care basics, then these lovely leafy lads and ladies can be very easily kept in containers. Listen though, before we get into all the juicy details as far as aloe care is concerned, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on any bad graffiti, worse jokes, wacky macrame, or pretty good advice about how to take care of your houseplants. Alrighty. Aloe vera is a succulent and needs to be watered as such. This means allowing the soil in their containers to completely dry out between each watering. Now, the time it takes for the soil in your Pokey Green Pals container to dry out is going to vary depending on factors such as plant size, pot size, temperature, humidity, and season. So if you're not sure whether your plant is thirsty, you can insert a finger about an inch down into the soil in your plant's container, or you can feel through the drainage hole to check for moisture. Also though, you can learn to decipher your aloe's cryptic messages and water your foxy freckled friends only when those friends tell you that they are thirsty.
Oh my gosh.
That's right, aloe leaves that are droopy, thin, and deflated looking are a sign that your plant is thirsty. But listen, translucent, soft, discolored, mushy leaves are a sign that your plant has been overwatered. If your plant has reached that point though, there's a good chance that the damage has been done and your salty green sister has been issued a one-way ticket to a watery grave. So yeah, if you're not sure whether your plant is ready to be watered, maybe wait another week before watering, because these xerophytic zinnias can survive for months at a time without any water at all, but can be ghosted by overwatering in a matter of just a few days.
Is that what happened to Dennis?
I don't want to talk about it. When it comes to soil preference, these arboreal allies need to be kept in a quick draining soil such as a cactus mix. And when it comes to selecting a container for these dotted green divas, there are also several things to consider. While these succulent sultans can grow to be pretty fucking big, they actually prefer to be kept in smaller containers. This is especially important if you're hoping for aloe pups, which we'll cover in more detail later in the video. Really, unless you got a very large mature plant, there is probably no need to go any larger than 4 or 5 inches as far as container size is concerned. You can pot your aloes into larger containers. I did with most of these leafy bulbous lads and ladies, but if you do, you'll need to be even more careful to avoid overwatering your plants. These broad-leafed beauties don't need much space at all for their roots, and they like company. So feel free to pack several aloe babies into the same container if you're short on pots. Really though, the most important thing when it comes to selecting a container for your gorgeous green dotted dolls is that you pot them into a draining container. Seriously. If you care about your plants at all, then don't f around with non-draining containers. And that goes for any houseplant, okay? Not just aloes. As far as sunlight is concerned, these fleshy pokey friends can handle varying levels of sunlight intensity. But more is better. Ideally, they need around 6 hours of direct sunlight every day. They will survive with less than this, but try to keep them somewhere with lots of bright indirect light and make sure they get at least 1 hour of direct sunlight every day. Any less than that and their stalks will begin to grow long, lanky, and unstable. Their leaves will begin to lose their color. They will start rejecting their older leaves, and any new leaves produced will be skinny and pale in color. Here's the thing though. If acclimated gradually, they can handle direct sun all day. So yeah, if you want to see lots of growth and big, thick, juicy leaves, then more sun is better. Listen though, okay? Listen. When acclimating your plant to more sun, it is very important to do so gradually, especially if your plant has been in a low light situation for very much time at all. I recommend adding 1 hour of direct sunlight every 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, during the acclimation period, your perennial pal is going to lose that sleek sateen pea green sheen. Parts of its leaves will fade to a sunburnt looking brownish red. And you can probably expect to see some dried out crispy tips on a few of its leaves. Have faith though and trust that in the long run, your spiky green undersunned siren will be much better off. Medicinal aloe plants prefer to be kept in humidity that is at 40% or less, but can be kept in much higher levels of humidity. At higher levels though, be sure to take a little bit of extra care when it comes to watering because it will take the soil in your plant's container longer to dry out. And with temperature, these pointy green princesses can take the heat if they need to, but prefer to be kept at between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you do keep your arboreal ally outside, be sure to bring it indoors if the temperature threatens to fall below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And if your dusty green diva freezes, she will be ghosted for sure. Medicinal aloe plants are not frost tolerant. Another way to encourage your luscious leafy goddess to grow is by fertilizing. This is the fertilizer that I use for my aloes and for most of my other succulents. But for medicinal aloe, pretty much any low nitrogen water soluble fertilizer will do the trick. Listen though, these vibrant leafy vixens don't need much fertilizer at all and will do just fine without any fertilizer. When I do feed my foxy green friends, I do so only once per year and only during mid-spring towards the beginning of their growing season, which occurs during spring and summer. Much more feeding than this has the potential to do way more harm than good. Propagating medicinal aloe plants is super fun and very easy. Really, all you have to do is set up the right conditions and then wait. Mature and even pretty young aloe plants will begin to send up little baby aloes known as pups when their root systems become crowded. So yeah, in order to achieve this, all you need to do is find a well-sunned, healthy, larger aloe, preferably one that's at least 3 years old, but older than that is better, and then pop that aloe into a container that is 4 inches or smaller. Given the proper care, eventually the roots will grow up against the interior edges of that container, and from there, little baby aloes should pop up in no time. This aloe here, Sabrina, is in a container that is a lot bigger than 4 inches and has still managed to send up quite a few pups. And hey, if you don't have any older aloes, sometimes even the little ones will send up pups. When it comes to the toxicity of the medicinal aloe, it's complicated. If it is your plan or your pet's plan to just bite off a chunk of aloe and then chow the f down, then yeah, this plant is considered by the ASPCA to be toxic to cats, dogs, and horses. And without the proper processing, the outer leaf and the latex within the leaf have been shown to cause certain digestive problems for humans as well. However, if processed in the proper fashion, the inner gel fillet within the leaf is said by many to have lots of health benefits. Okay, like a ton. Maybe even a ton. But if you choose to take this path, then do your research and process your leaves properly in order to avoid, yeah, that. When it comes to pests likely to infest medicinal aloe plants, always be on the lookout for multi-legged motherfuckers such as aphids, spider mites, gall mites, mealybugs, snout beetles, and scale. I recommend inspecting your xerophytic xena every time you water your plant. And if you do find any exoskeletal enemies, be sure to correctly identify the bug and then treat those stupid dumb shit as soon as possible. Right up here is a link to a video where I outline how exactly to make and use an alcohol dish soap solution that is safe to use on aloes and is highly effective against all these salty, shitty, sap-sucking saboteurs. Though another great option might be to use a horticultural oil that will suffocate the little buggy bitches.
Jeez.
It is also worth mentioning though that if your plant is struggling due to improper watering or a lack of sun, it will be at a much greater risk for a pest infestation. And if your aloe is healthy, well sunned, and properly watered, it will be much harder for a pest infestation to take any sort of a lasting toll. Well, yeah, like duh. And as far as aloe diseases are concerned, root rot, basal stem rot, and sooty mold are probably the most likely to infect your plant. Sooty mold is a fungal infection that is secondary to infestation by pests. So as long as you keep an eye out for bugs and treat those little bitches as soon as you find them, you probably won't ever have to worry about that one. And if your aloe is potted into a draining container, watered correctly, and kept at a high enough temperature, then there is very little chance of your plant ever having to deal with basal stem rot or root rot. And hey, if you fuck up real bad and your plant's roots or stem rot because of it, rather than trying to salvage or cure any rotted roots or stem, I recommend chopping off the top of your dusty green damsel, removing some of her lower leaves, and then potting what is left of her into some clean, fresh, dry cactus mix. Oh, sorry guys, I almost forgot. So yeah, these are like 9 of my somewhere between 87 and way the too many aloe plants. This is Monica. I found her in Flagstaff in 2018, and this is Claudia. Claudia got potted together with this coppertone sedum back in 2017 when I had no idea how the to take care of succulents. And yeah, they're an odd couple. They do fight a little bit when it comes to things like sunlight, but I don't know. So far, so good. This is Sabrina. I actually found her at a swap meet in 2019. She's definitely my biggest aloe and probably my oldest aloe. And this is Norman. Norman has been with me pretty much forever. He and Monica are, I guess, kind of the showgirls of this channel. I'm pretty sure you can find either one or both of them in all of the videos that I've uploaded thus far. Here's the thing though, he and Monica get moved around a lot. And because of that, they've been sort of deprived of consistent lighting and are both a little stretched out and undersunned looking. It's a little late in the growing season to do it right now, but come springtime, I'll probably chop and repot both of them. And these are all Sabrina's little aloe pups. I know I should let Sabrina name them since they're her babies and all, but here's the thing, plants can't fucking talk. So yeah, if you want to name one of these or any of these aloe pups, then leave us a comment, and if the name fits, we'll make it official and give you a shout out on Instagram. Yeah, thanks Lady Space Cowgirl. And if you've got any aloe stories you'd like to share, or if you want to introduce us to one of your spiky speckled succulent sisters, then let us know. We'd love to hear all about it. Hi, listen. Do you like bad graffiti, worse jokes, wacky macrame, and pretty good advice about taking care of your houseplants? Well then fucking subscribe. Thanks Logan. That's right. Click that notification bell too so you never miss a new video.